I don't know how to start one of these videos. If you've seen some of the other videos I posted or not, if you haven't seen them, whatever, it's fine. If you notice, I don't look at the camera a lot, and that's because I'm somewhat terrified of the camera, but somewhat not. It's a complicated relationship with me, so yeah. So there's not going to be any cuts to this video. Hopefully not. Try not to. I'm not going to try to I'm not going to try to edit it, although if you've seen my other videos, they're not that greatly edited anyways. So yeah, trying to be honest about most things, not everything. There's a lot of things I can't say because they involve other people, but I can try to say what is about me, about this. Alright. I wish I wouldn't make that noise. Sorry about that. Maybe I should start by saying what my name is. Or do I even want to give a real name? I go by Marcus Cross, or Marcus Zwei Cross. It's a long story about why I go by Zwei, but yeah, I'm 23. I go to a decent sized university in Norfolk. Studied English, professional writing, which I focused on social media, public relations, video game design, technology involved in the humanities, stuff like that. So I wasn't really into literature, and I really wasn't into linguistics. Mainly because a lot of the times the linguistics kind of turned into how to speak properly and in a dialect and a tone and a very soothing business talk and having your voice sound exactly like this. And that's kind of how communications, so a lot of communications courses went along with that. And I took a voice and diction class that suggested there was no such thing as bad English or bad way of talking, but a lot of the other courses kind of went that way. Although it wasn't that bad with a lot of other courses, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, I went into professional writing in the hopes of doing something that merges my love for technology and my love for writing. And that's why is this important? It's going to be important later on as I go along with this video. And plus I'm trying to dawdle from actually talking fully about myself and being honest with myself. And as you can see, I'm not looking at the camera, and now I'm looking at the camera again. Forgive me for how messy this video is going to sound. Alright, so background about me. I was born to a modest family. My mother still is a hard-working woman who worked most of her life trying to make things easier for her two kids. My father wasn't really in the picture as much, not at all. Same thing with my brother's father. We lived with our grandparents for most of our lives, so it was kind of a pretty close-knit family for as long as we could be close-knit. And we try to be close-knit now, but sometimes with me being far and mom also being far and Travis doing his own thing and grandma doing her own thing, it becomes kind of difficult. And a lot of the linchpins that were a part of our family aren't here anymore, so there's that. But why is that important? Um, for those of you who are watching who know me and or those who don't, I am a PKG. What does that mean? I am a pastor's grandkid. And forgive the noise of the air conditioner. As a PKG, there's really not that much you can do or not do. Pretty much, you just want to stay out of trouble. You don't want to be known as that kid, the one who's always pretty much, your name is always beside the word trouble. And I didn't want to be that. I was always taught to like I was one of the adults. I never really made any friends with kids my own age, and that's kind of tend to I didn't know how to express my emotions or even probably human interactions that well, and B, somewhat autistic, and C, which although A and B go together, but C, I wasn't really interested in a lot of things that a lot of the kids my age were into. Although I like my cartoons here and there, and I love playing video games, but I kind of like that doing it by myself. I didn't like that with other kids because, and I had to realize that now as an adult, I didn't like kids, a lot of the kids around my own age at the time. Sure, I made a few, I won't use like friends, I made a lot of associates, and I made like a lot of semi-close people that I could talk to, but it wasn't something that I was really interested in, and I only became interested in it because I was told that's what normal kids were into, a lot of things. I was told that hanging out with all these kids and not being by myself was normal. And I think that's probably why this video is so little difficult, because I've always been told that, always told to be normal in some sense of the word normal. Why can't you be like all the other kids? Why can't you do this like your cousins? Why can't you act like this? Why can't you look like this? Why can't you talk like this? Why can't you act like this? Why can't you? And I get that a lot, and for both good and bad reasons. It's for like a lot of the people who kind of drill that into the head most of the time. They had good intentions. Sorry, I'm gonna try to look at the camera. They had good intentions, but it didn't help. None of it helped. I just became a more depressed adolescent, a depressed kid most of the time. And with the death of my grandfather, that also became a big crazy thing in my life, because I wasn't a pastor's grandkid anymore. I was just a kid. So my brother adjusted to that because it really didn't affect him that much. He was pretty much the happy-go-lucky, go-with-the-flow, everyone's my best friend type of dude almost. And I wasn't it. I was the good pastor grandkid. That was it. There was smart, intelligent, can talk, could speak well enough. That was it. Nothing about me personally. I didn't have a good sense of humor. I didn't have an actual personality outside of being under someone else's shadow. I was pretty much just a good kid, generic as I possibly could be. Like, I was generic like peanut butter at Walmart. That's how generic I was. There was nothing unique about me, really. I mean, sure, I had a wild imagination that I never really tried to express with other people. I could remember lines from TV shows verbatim, still can. And I just love reading and writing and being by myself. But other than that, I wasn't anything special. And sometimes I feel like I'm still not anything special. But that's not your problem, because you're watching this somewhat long ass video, it looks like. So, going back to the now, I dealt with bullying, I dealt with depression, I dealt with death, I dealt with pretty much being black and how to be black and how to be properly black and how to not be improperly black and how to what it. I did with everything that I possibly could for being a black geek who had the charm of a fucking sponge. I wasn't interested in like trying to match on anyone. I wasn't interested in dating. I wasn't interested in going out. Sex wasn't like a big thing in my head. I mean, not to say that it wasn't. Like it popped up every now and then, but it wasn't that much of importance. Not in the same way that everyone else makes it out to be. Still isn't. I'm both mature and immature when it comes to talking about sex. But you're probably wondering what the fuck does that have to do with anything you were just talking about? Altogether, well, a lot of stuff that I've gotten into in high school and middle school and stuff like that is made me the person I am today. I am a 23-year-old game designer who is trying to effing rebuild my own career, my personality, my friends, and where I want to go in life. I've kind of changed in more ways than one. I've become become less mature, but not in the sense that I'm just immature. It's more into the fact that I'm not so much, everything has to be so serious, everything has to be like this, everything like that. I can make jokes now. I can laugh. I can clown my boy when like his shoe game ain't right. I've started to watch more cartoons and stuff like that. And that's been one of the greatest things that I've ever felt accomplished about. Like I felt like I now come to my own, but in the same sense, I lost and yet I gained a lot of things. The same dreams that I used to have are not here anymore. I used to dream about, just working in a cubicle, doing some computer stuff, typing down, making a little bit of money, living in like a small freaking neighborhood, and that's it. I made a little bit of money here and there. I can talk about business with some other stuffy guy, and that was it. Like literally, that was my dream for like a brief moment for a few times. And then there was a time when I want to be A, a super villain, and B, I want to be the world's greatest writer, and then I wanted to be a game designer. But those three dreams I felt were just stupid. First one not so much when I think about it now. But all three of those dreams, I kind of threw them out and just went back to that first one. So now I kind of want to pursue all those things that I want to do. I want to be a great game designer. I want to be a great writer. I want to be a great content creator. I want to be great at social media. I want to explore all the things that I never got to explore as a high schooler or as a middle schooler. All the things that I never ever thought I could, because a lot of things, because of my background and a lot of the things that you just didn't do in my household. And that's not to say that I'm trying to go and do a bunch of drugs and I'm not boozing myself up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about adventuring and following dreams and actually loving what I do. That's the thing that I'm trying to look for and look forward to. However, reality doesn't really allow you that, so I am currently trying to still pay off hospital debts, housing debt, still trying to find a way to do more schooling, still trying to find a way to find a company and settle down with them, trying to find a job, actually not even just a job, a career that I can have fun in and that I can feel accomplished in. I don't want to just always feel like I'm behind a cubicle and I'm not doing anything in my life, like I'm just here. But Also, that means I have to find experience. And a lot of people aren't looking for someone straight out of college, or someone who just happens to have a little bit of college experience, or someone who has a little bit of experience in this field. They're looking for someone who's done 40 years of work in social media. How, Sway? How does that work? I don't know, but apparently that's what people are looking for. And so it's become hard. And job hunting is hard. Even doing small job hunting, because it always feels like I just always feel like I'm getting screwed over somewhere. And I'm not talking about in the same right that like you hear on like Reddit and all those places. They're taking our jobs. They took our jobs. No, not in that same sense. But always I feel like either A, I'm not good enough. B, I don't fit where everyone wants me to fit. Or C, I'm just not stupid enough. Actually, let me see. I applied to, I'm not going to say which restaurant it was, but I applied to a restaurant one time. And it was great. Talked to the person. Sounded like they liked me. Sounded like they wanted me to do some hosting. But then I get like something back saying that I was overqualified. And another thing, they weren't looking for people coming out of college, big college students, or people in college. They were pretty much looking for, run of the mill, happy to see you, smiles, and all that happiness in high school and not in high school. Pretty much people who weren't thinking about doing big things, which that's understandable. People who think about doing big things, either A, want more money, or B, want to change stuff, or C, you can't just boss them around. So that's understandable. And not just that, there's been jobs even around on campus where I feel like I could be a little bit more qualified at, and it still goes to someone else who's A, underqualified, and B, doesn't even know what it is that they're signing up for, and C, they just fake on like a good personality. Also, they just do all that, and they still never accomplish the job. They still have problems. Even to one of the places that I applied for, like even looking at some of the content they put out, the person that they hired hasn't been doing the job that they've been looking for. But that's not the hero of that, and I'm not there for that. I'm happy for that person who got the job. So, I mean, you gotta give props to someone, whether qualified or not, they got the job and you didn't. So, gotta be happy for someone being accomplished, I guess. And that's not to say this is me sitting here going to be talking about this for a while, being bitter. This is just me pretty much talking to a camera and slowly digesting everything going on in my life. So, I'm job hunting. I'm trying to be more active in social media. Try to be this person that everyone wanted. This whole smiley, happy, frantic, overly creative, overly thoughtful, overly helpful, naive, INFJ bastard that people for some reason like, only because they don't tell people that, hey, this might not work, this might suck, or B, how about we do this, or they're just looking for someone who's just like a yes man, or someone that hypes them up. Someone who's always agreeable, someone who doesn't mind being screwed over, and that became a problem for me. And that's not to say that all INFJ guys and gals and other genders out there are just that. It's just that's who everyone's looking for, and I tried to be that. But that's not me. I'm a creative INTJ. There's no way around being that. So, there's that. So, that part of trying to pursue my careers. I didn't want to end up flipping burgers. I didn't want to end up being a dishwasher. I didn't want to end up being the guy who's just always miserable, who's been working at the same fast food restaurant job for about 10 years without going anywhere. His only move was from the fries to the cashier. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be stuck in that. And shipyard work, I know a lot of my family members say, I could get you in the shipyard, but I didn't want to do that because creatively, it felt stifling. And I don't want to always feel like I'm always put in a position where I have to choose money over what I want to do, which I know that sounds stupid. It even sounds stupid to me, but I just don't want to always feel like, A, I have to have my family to help me out, and I don't want to always have to feel like that, this is why I'm here for. I'm just here for the money. I'm not here to enjoy myself. I'm not here to pursue other means to feel accomplished. I would rather feel accomplished in my job than making a buku a lot of money. I just want to make enough money that I can say, hey, I paid off my loans, paid off all the other bills I need, I got my bare necessities, and then I can go out here and there to pursue my own little geek stuff. That's it. That is it. I'm not trying to look for big bucks, but I do want to look for something that I can pursue my passions in and have fun in, because I feel like, which is also, I feel like it's like a family curse. I feel like we just stopped trying to go for big hopes and dreams. Like all of our dreams just, for some reason, just went out the window. We don't try to go and do big things. We don't try to jump further and jump high and get lost and, dive deep and leap off effing buildings. And I'm not saying to leap off a literal building. What I mean is, I feel like there's been this big thing over my family where we just don't try to do anything. We're just here, and we're just moving. That fun portion of it that we want you to go far is still there, but I feel like if I don't try to pursue all the other big creative things in my life, I feel like I would let them down. I feel like if I don't try to pursue my hopes and dreams, I would let them down. Although I turn out being broke and have no money and be out for my ass and not be able to do anything in my life because my credit score is horrific and my loans have finally crushed me, I feel like I disappoint them even more. So, damn if I do, damn if I don't, huh? And if you're still watching this video, thank you so much for just listening to this a little bit. This is going to be a two-parter because I feel like this video is long enough. So this is probably going to be this is going to be the first part. Yep, this is the first part, which is focusing on the career and basically the intro of who I am. And then I'm probably going to make something about the nitty-gritty and get really deep into who I am. So